All right. So this is MLB Pipeline's organizational all-stars, and they've been doing this for every team, and now they've come out with the Dodgers. Now, one of the cool things is the Dodgers had the best overall record in 2023, so you can see where they're at. You know, OKC went 90-58, Tulsa 65-73. They had started better, but they ended poorly. Great Lakes 76-55, RC Rancho Cucamonga 71-61, ACL 34-22, Batista 42, yes 42-11, and then the MAGA team, or the Mega, sorry, not the MAGA team, the Dominican Summer League Mega team, 36-17. Holy smokes, 414-297, first among the MLB organizations. Those Dominican Summer League teams and the Arizona Cactus League teams really brought it hard. And then we have their midseason farm rankings were number 6. They will have their new rankings probably out in March. I still expect them to be in the top 10, but we did have a lot of people graduate, which is really cool. So let's get to the All-Stars. At catcher, Tayron Lorenzo. You could see he spent the whole season with Rancho, slashing 272, 400, 562 in 94 games. He hit 24 home runs, 70 walks. That's also something of note. And he is a guy, switch hitter. Let's remember that. He's a switch hitter. He is a catcher, like they say. He is getting better and better behind the plate. He calls a really good game. Pitchers really enjoy pitching to him. Those are from their mouth to my ears. And then throughout, 35 runners. Now, remember, this is with all those stupid rules, with only two pickoffs allowed, and all that type of stuff. And so they say, Will Rhymes, who is, you can see it, Vice President of Player Development. I need to meet him. He's got soft hands and his receiving is good, like the player said, and he's got a 70 grade arm. He also spent quite a bit of time at first base. So, Tayron Lorenzo, you are the man. And, hey, I'm taking credit. I was spouting him in spring training, so I'm going to be there. We have quite a bit of content on Tayron, including an interview with him in Spanish. And because Tayron was doing so well, they had to put Dalton Rushing at first base, and he does play first base. Now, his slash was, the batting average was down. He had a concussion, but 228, 404, 452 in just 89 games, 15 dongs, 53 RBIs, 72 walks. And I emphasize the walks for both Lorenzo and Rushing. These are really good walk rates. Really good walk rates. So a lot of ups and downs. He did get hurt. Again, with the concussion. So, walking at a 19% clip. He had a decent year. It would have been a lot better without the concussion. Generally, he's considered the number one prospect in the system, but watch out for Lorenzo. Watch out for some others. One of my favorites, 2021 undrafted free agent, Austin Gauthier. Now, Austin, I met him in 2022. Didn't even know who he was. Goes through Rancho, goes to Great Lakes, gets up to Double-A last year. And, he led the organization. You can see that in hits, runs, and walks. And, just a really good thing. 100 walks for a non-power hitter. Think about that. Okay? And he played all over the place. I saw him play. He was playing in the outfield, playing short, playing third, playing second. He is all over the place. Yoendry Vargas, one of the who I consider one of their top 3 untouchables. Just an amazing player on that Team Batista team. They were just so dominant. And, him, 328 slash 423, 529. And just 48 games. This kid's, he was maybe 18 during part of that season. 7 dongs, 31 RBIs, 30 walks in 40 games, and 19 stolen bases. 6'4", 175 pounds. Just all sorts of talent. and I'm super excited. And they say here he had at least with among players with 200 plate appearances, he ranks second in batting average. And so they have Rhymes in here chiming in all the way. Probably the biggest standout thing of getting to know him is just how sharp he is and how much he knows the game. This guy will be in the top 5 Dodger prospects by the end of the year. And then the 2032 National League Rookie of the Year, Michael Busch, just unstoppable. He was their Player of the Year in their system. Come on, 323, 431, 618, 27 home runs in 98 games, 90 RBI, 65 walks. He can do it all. There's nothing else for him to prove in the minor leagues. And I guess they did cut down on his strikeouts, and he can do that. If they want him to hit for power, he can hit for power. If they want him to hit for average, he'll hit for average. So this season he put it all together. He just needs a real chance. Is it going to be with the Dodgers in left field? Is it going to be with the Dodgers somehow at third base? Or more likely, is it going to be with the Milwaukee Brewers at first base? Or someone like that, or the White Sox or something like that. Rest in peace to his Dodgers career. The recently traded Johnny DeLuca had a fantastic season in both AA and AAA, and of course has got a trip up to the major leagues. So he 294, 390, 566 in just 73 games with 17 home runs, 35 walks. The guy's such a I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it sucks. It does suck. He's a great athlete and has a rare power and low strikeout combo. Yeah, we couldn't have used that. I think we're going to regret missing it. We're going to be missing him. Check out Casey Porter at Dodgers Daily. He has check out his Twitter and everything. He has some really good stuff on Johnny DeLuca. Eduardo Quintero. We talked about him during our center fielders. So this guy, listen to this, 359, 472, 618 in 49 games, 5 home runs, 22 stolen bases. He had 32 walks in that time. That's good for a young player. He's a young one. It was just his debut. One of the best things they could have, best seasons they had overall. Led the organization with players over 200 plate appearances, led the organization in average on-base percentage and slugging. Yeah, buy his baseball card. 2022 draftee Chris Newell, who I met in spring training and saw him for the first half or so season at Rancho, and he was fantastic at Rancho. He did have a little slip, he fell down a bit with Great Lakes, but he did have an injury that was there that caused that. But this was his first full season in pro ball. He slashed 266, 374, 542. In just 83 games, he hit 21 home runs. He clearly was on a great pace. 56 walks. Those are the things we want to see. And 15 stolen bases. He can play center field. He's a big guy but he's got a lot of athletic ability. And he, they says 55 grade power. And then he says if he didn't miss that time, he would have had 30 home runs possibly. So really good to see his quick rise. Okay, Justin Robleski. So he beat out Maddox Bruns, who's really one of their top prospects. But Robleski is a guy who they drafted and came off Tommy John surgery. I think it was 2021, so that's a really good draft. Coming off Tommy John, he kind of really lit it up. I mean, coming on strong. 2.90 ERA and 102 innings pitched. First full season after Tommy John. I saw him a little bit last year at Rancho. I didn't see him in person, but I met him and saw him in spring training. 35 walks, 244 batting average against 1.25 WHIP. He's one of the hardest throwing guys in there. He averages 94.4 miles per hour. However, I'm going to jump over here really quick. To my bookmarks because there's some Robleski love in here. This guy, I don't know if you guys know who this guy Skeens Truther is. Tell him he's good. I need to follow up with him. He knows his stuff. He has with a good changeup and FF. and whatever. Fine secondaries. What am I missing? Fastball, but I don't know. Left-handed pitcher with good command of change. He can hit his four-seam fastball. Okay, four-seam fastball hits 99, so that's good. Also has high potential. Than the typical crafty lefty with the changeup. Again, the four-seam fastball, 99 miles an hour. And change took a huge leap. That's cool. So mixes in cutters and curveballs. So he's got a full arsenal. That's a starting pitcher. That's a left-hander. I know he was in single A this year. He is going to be in double A. I can't remember how old he is. I'm going to take a quick look at that because that will dictate a little bit on how, and he's already 23. And so he'll turn 24 in July. He will be at double A. Don't be surprised if he doesn't hit triple A this year. They might move him pretty quick. Pretty excited about him. And then the old man, relatively speaking, Landon Knack. Mr. Control, 2.51 ERA, 100 innings pitched, 99 Ks, 30 walks, 229 batting average against, 1.16 whip. The guy, this says armed with a fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. Worked into the seventh inning in 3 of his 22 starts. Much more different than most Dodgers. Let's see. Yeah, he just sounds. He's a surgeon. I like this. They called him. He really stands out with the surgical execution of his full mix. He's got really good control. That's the bottom line. And then our reliever, he's already gone from the organization. Wander Suaro. So it would have been Ronaldo if he would have stayed in Arizona because he was dominating there. He got up to Rancho and had some struggles. But Ronaldo does throw 102 miles an hour. He might have just turned 20. But Wander, spent a little time with the Dodgers. Not a rookie, not anything like that. So not going to spend too much time with that. So that is your Dodgers organizational all-stars as presented by MLB Pipeline.